Welcome to VM Minutes, where we share short tips on essential workplace investigation skills. The unrest and anger that followed the killing of George Floyd in Minnesota in the summer of 2020 led to increased awareness of societal racial injustices and other types of injustices throughout the nation. The racial reckoning made its way into the workplace and introduced many people to terms and ideas that they had never heard of before. One of those terms was microaggression. Today, I'm going to talk about things to keep in mind when investigating complaints about microaggressions. But first, what is a microaggression? I like this definition from the author and activist Ijeoma Alawu from her 2018 book, So You Want to Talk About Race. There she wrote, microaggressions are small daily insults and indignities perpetrated against marginalized or oppressed people because of their affiliation with that marginalized or oppressed group. I would add a bit of explanation to this definition. Microaggressions can be unspoken, and sometimes they're perpetrated without awareness of the perpetrator. Indeed, the person that engages in the microaggression does not even have to have acted with bad or malicious intent. For example, a coworker might tell a Black coworker that they don't act or sound Black. That can be considered a microaggression. Why is this important for us as investigators? As a very basic matter, microaggressions can rise to the level of unlawful discrimination or harassment. So it's very important for us to recognize them when they come up in our investigations. These complaints do not typically involve egregious acts of overt discrimination or harassment. Rather, these complaints are increasingly about minor acts that may not have been considered such a big deal a few years ago. Sometimes they don't even appear to be related to protected category. So how do we investigate these microaggressions? Just like you would any other complaint about discrimination or harassment. Allegations about microaggressions should be methodically and thoroughly investigated like every other complaint of discrimination or harassment. Details are key when investigating microaggressions. You want to ask questions that help to establish whether these kinds of comments or conduct have happened before. Are there other similar types of comments or conduct? Who was the perpetrator of the microaggression? Were they in a position of power to the subordinate employee who made the complaint? So the details are really key. Another bit of evidence that's really important when investigating microaggressions is comparative evidence. Are there similarly situated employees of different protected categories than the complaining party? How are they treated? Are there similarly situated employees who are of the same protected category as the complaining party? And have they experienced similar microaggressions? So those are the types of questions that investigators should be asking in order to ensure a thorough analysis of microaggressions. So our key takeaways. 1, microaggressions can rise to the level of unlawful discrimination or harassment, so it's very important to thoroughly investigate. 2, investigate microaggressions as you would any other alleged acts of discrimination or harassment. 3, details and comparative evidence are especially useful when investigating complaints about alleged microaggressions. Thanks for watching. That's a wrap on today's VM Minutes.